Welcome in, folks. Episode number, who knows, of the Side Hustle podcast. We're in it now. We're deep.
Yeah.
We're deep in this.
This is either 5 or 6.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, 5 sounds right.
Yeah, the big month was like last week, and
Mhm.
now the high's wearing off.
Now it's a grind. Now it's work. Now it's like, oh, it's Wednesday. We got to be here.
So we hope you guys enjoyed, obviously, what we did a little bit earlier. We released a bit of a shorter clip, kind of talking like podcast about the press conference.
And we had to because
Yeah.
I asked somebody who was like, so when is the podcast dropping? I'm like, well, it usually drops like Thursday afternoon-ish. Well, the press conference is like right after.
Go figure, WWE. Thanks for fucking us on the booking of that. Appreciate it. Like, could have made it like Friday, like before SmackDown, or just do it during SmackDown.
So can we just make clear that's just the last episode we did? It's been a pretty loaded week.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Some
I'm
things.
sitting there after Friday. I'm like,
Oh, God.
man, we can't be on the air. Like, we're not on the air Friday, and then the whole weekend happens. And then Monday happens. And like, can't be on the air for that. And a little sprinkle. I even sent you something from NXT.
Which is rare.
Which is rare. We usually do not, no offense to NXT,
No, fuck them. No,
we usually don't cover NXT. We just don't.
the
And-
developmental brand. Yeah. Well,
But something happened there. It's just like,
fantastic story. Yeah.
man.
But you didn't think it was going to happen.
I didn't think they were going to pull the trigger that quickly.
I'm telling you, man, that match doesn't scream stand and deliver. That match screams WrestleMania.
It does. It does.
The
And
popularity of both those guys, especially Trick.
yeah. And
Boy.
if you don't know already, you're aware of how that promo mirrored the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart promo from years ago,
Mm-hmm.
from I think 05. Mirrored that. That was the Michaels Hulk Hogan feud, and they're in Canada, Montreal, and Bret Hart comes out, or the music plays. Bret never came out. Oh, he got you, and then Camilla Hayes is just you and Booker T can take that stupid song, lay up in the hospital. Man, let's go.
So that was the first NXT pay-per-view, or PLE, whatever you want to call it, this past Sunday.
We call it pay-per-view here.
Yeah, we
If
can.
you have a problem with that,
Well, whatever.
whatever.
Yeah, deal with it. That I've watched, like, in
Mhm.
its full. And not bad. Not bad. Not obviously what they are on the level of the main roster yet, because there's still some people that are working through some things, but some of the matches, awesome. I cannot wait for Ilya Dragunov to get on that main roster. I hope to God they put him on Raw so he can have his matches with Gunther. That's going to be some of the best things you're going to see.
That'll be something. Yeah.
Just those two together are just freaking magic.
Yeah.
But this whole thing with Trick and Mello, I know there's obviously a lot of big stories that are going on right now. We kind of addressed some of that a little bit earlier. We'll talk more, obviously, reaction to the press conference, SmackDown, Raw next week, too, which will be fun. We're all going to be remote.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Hawaii.
And I'll be in Bedford.
He'll be in Bedford. He'll probably be somewhere in the Menor area, per se, something like that. I'll make sure I'm on the beach or nearabouts where they can see that I'm enjoying myself when we do that, so that'll be fun.
Did I ever tell you back in our broadcasting student days that I once did a show from Soak City with our guys, our buddies, Rob Rizicki, Eli Moon. They did, us three. We did main event,
Yeah.
and
Remember that.
they're recording the shows in the summer, do the shows live, and it was one of those weeks where I couldn't make it back in town. Like, car broke down, can't make it back in. So I was at the beach. I was at Soak City at Cedar Point. So they're trying to make a serious sports point as some woman is just walking by, no clothes or anything. It's just like, that was good NBA Finals. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Kyrie did a great job.
Damn.
Dang. Double A, you there? You there?
Sorry, I just
Yeah, I'm here.
I was so passionate about what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, I'm here. and then the waves just. They said that was my best work.
Well, I mean, It's such a long list because you're such a superstar
Oh, yeah.
and all these different things you do, man. And it's just so hard to keep track.
It's incredible.
On a list of like, what's your favorite Grammy? Like, that kind of thing. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I thought, because we did the game at Hawken Friday night, and I thought I saw a fan at the end of the game coming up to AA.
Mm-hmm.
So
that happened. That did happen.
You guys record the JV?
yeah.
Sir, we're not with the school or with CV. Oh, my bad, man. I got a kid who plays on the JV team.
But, sir, you got that voice.
You got that.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeet.
Yeet.
Voice of the Land podcast got a little treatment of that earlier today.
They did, yeah. They felt that up. Make sure
yeah.
you guys listen.
They got a little
awesome show.
All right, so I'm very happy what's going on with Trick and Hayes and everything like that.
Great story. Looking forward to seeing that.
Can't wait.
It's on my WrestleMania cards, which again I talked about it earlier. If you guys want to see what we predicted, you can obviously go on any of the social media platforms. You follow us. It's Hustle Side Pod. Is that on Twitter and Facebook?
Twitter, but
Twitter.
We could make a Facebook page too.
Okay, I don't know if you made one or
yeah,
not. Too.
we could.
Can you do more work? Like what the fuck?
Of course, of course, of course. You know who's doing more work, and nobody appreciates him? The Rock. He comes back. He gives up his own time.
Oh boy.
His own, his busy schedule, because he is the people's champ. He is very busy. He comes back for you people. For you people, he comes back. And what do you do to give thanks? We want Cody. We want Cody. Rock didn't come back just to hear you people say we want Cody.
I'm glad he's the one saying you people.
In my head, I was like, for some reason, I wanted to say, what do you mean, you people? And I'm like, yeah, why does it sound good coming from me? Yeah, I'm going to hold off on that one.
I'm here for your cover-ups. Don't worry.
I appreciate that. 100%. Save my ass left and right. You have no idea. Especially after the Vince takes. That was fun. I don't hate that he's back. But I told you, and you can obviously see earlier on what we kind of talked about. The press conference will come to pass throughout today, and we'll obviously know more about what this whole thing is. And like I said, we're going to react to that, obviously, on the next show. But it's not a bad thing that he's around, obviously. I think part of the whole TKO agreement to be on the board was involving him being involved in the product somehow in some way. How that all pans out, again, we'll see. But it's
Let me ask you this.
Nuts.
Let me ask you this. Was this a Rock decision for him to be in the main event or a Triple H decision? Did Triple H have in mind? Because the only thing that doesn't make sense, and I'm not overly crazy about the whole "we want Cody" thing, as you can see.
What? No way.
But the only part for me that doesn't make much sense, and I think for a lot of fans, Cody won the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So if you was gonna have Rock Roman at Mania 40, why not just have The Rock win the Rumble? And we both predicted that The Rock was going to be a surprise entrant, and we both predicted that he was going to win the Rumble. We were wrong. Cody won the Rumble, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Rock... So, I guess my thing is, because you heard different stories about, well, this might have been agreed to early January, which I don't buy. That doesn't make much sense. But who made this decision?
The ultimate fuck up was, unfortunately, even though he's like my favorite dude almost of all time, is Punk's hurt injury. Like that messed everything up. Like from the standpoint of you could have had Rock come in, you could have had Punk win the Rumble. Like, and that could have given them the out for Cody to not have to worry about, okay, I didn't win it, so I don't have that direct shot. How do I get to Roman? Rock already staked his claim, whatever it was, you can use that as an excuse. He's part of the family. You could have played the Cody's loss storyline this year. Like, I put all this work in, and I have nothing to show for it now because both champions are spoken for.
Yeah.
What do I do? That's where you get the names like the Cenas or even like the Ortons or whatever could have came into play. And you can tell a story. Either one of those. No pun intended. But with Cody winning, it kind of puts you in a box.
Yeah.
It's almost like if Daniel Bryan would have run the Rumble and decided, you know what? Who's got the IC title? Fuck Randy Orton. I'm going to challenge this guy.
Yeah.
What? Like, it's just kind of like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to pick Seth. And again, it was one of those things where I have him picking Seth, but at the same point, it was because of The Rock coming back.
But the only difference, and to this point, and again, if you're watching this after the press conference, take this aside. But leading into the press conference, the only part I'm disappointed in, we mentioned Seth won that Royal Rumble match. And maybe on purpose, they are defining down that world title. It seems on purpose.
They're trying to make it even more now.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is though, Seth is hurt.
Yeah.
So you're now give him credit.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking good. Like he's able to walk around a little bit. He's probably rehabbing his ass off because he doesn't want to miss WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He probably wants to get back a few weeks before that
Mm-hmm.
to as close to 100% as he can. Punk is in a different boat, torn tricep.
Yeah.
Unless he pulls a Cena and cuts his recovery time in like a third,
Uh-huh.
he's out,
Yeah.
and his body is not the same where Cena's was and all that too. I mean, he's older, and
It's not happening.
No, I mean,
Bad track record too. Of
it's not a bad thing. And again, we could always see Cody go after Roman at SummerSlam too, and he could try to unify the titles or whatever it is and make it like, you know what, you said I was the whatever the second best guy or whatever it was, or best second guy, best number 2, whatever.
I'm the best number 2.
Yeah.
Like, would you rather be the best number 2
or
take a crack at number 1?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He can obviously, that can be part of their. I somehow feel like, and again, I talked about it earlier too. Like there's some sort of connection with Rock and Cody, and again, we could know a little more, but as far as what that is, but there has to be a reason why Cody said,
"Yeah,
go ahead."
Something has to happen.
I'm just saying.
Now I thought about this, and I think I wanted.
Rock said, "Move, bitch."
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. The original question that we brought up is this a Triple H or a Rock call?
Thank you for reminding me. I forgot about that question.
I kind of did too. And that's why I did a manual reset.
To answer that, I think it was neither. I think it was an Ari Emanuel call. I think it was a TKO board call.
Yeah.
I think it was built into The Rock when he came back. Was that, okay, how many more fucking movies do you need to make?
Mm-hmm.
How much longer can you actually get in the ring?
Yeah.
You're not getting younger.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're in great shape.
Yeah.
But ring shape? Yeah, you could be buffed up and all that stuff. People are talking about him blowing gas when he did that spot with Jinder Mahal and stuff too. It's like, you don't have much longer to go. And no offense to Roman, but we talked about it. His matches are starting to suck. Because when you know the finish of the match, it's like, And
they even joked, Drew McIntyre even joked about, like,
we know how it's going to
we
end.
know how it's going to end.
He's fucking right. And you're exactly right. Yeah. He's been doing some great work on the promos. He was like playing both guys too, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Cody, finish the story.
Do it for your father. I'm like, oh my god. And then he goes over to Seth. He's like, you've been doing a great job. Challenge me at Wrestle. Screw him. He's gonna do his.
I promise we'll dedicate a few minutes to Drew McIntyre. But Drew McIntyre's been putting in work these last few months.
His AEW tryout.
I know.
He's making them have to be like, we have to resign Drew McIntyre.
You gotta have to. I think you're right though. I think this is the one. Honestly, this might be. I know TKO's been, WWE's been a part of TKO merge for a year or two, couple years.
September, I think, is when they made it official. So not even.
This is their first WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They want to put a stamp on post McMahon.
So huge. Want to make it so big.
Yeah.
Biggest WrestleMania of all time.
Yeah.
So much bigger than even mine.
They want to.
When I shaved that guy's head, who we won't say, because he's kind of a douchebag. Yeah. But it's fine. I understand. I've been there.
I'm there now.
Shout out Jake Underwood. He does a way better drum.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I'm rusty. I'm Kyle, but I'm rusty doing that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I guess, in a way, more questions have to be answered. Mm-hmm. But, again, this is their first WrestleMania. And to your point, Kyle, there's only so many WrestleManias The Rock could be a part of. There's only so many times you get a chance to do the ultimate family head of the table story. And honestly, you probably have if it wasn't this year, it's going to be next year, or that's it.
So here's the problem, Double A too. Like, if The Rock wins, you brought up earlier on too, he almost has to do Hollywood Rock.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what I wanted to get to.
the heel version, because nobody wants him. This would be a situation where Roman gets cheered if he wins. Because
Well, remember, there was this goes back to CM Punk. If you recall, CM Punk was supposed to, when he came back, the layers were supposed to peel off of CM Punk. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And the eventual CM Punk Roman Reigns match at SummerSlam or whatever was going to happen was supposed to be Roman Reigns as a babyface, tribal chief, as a babyface. Punk is the heel. Maybe in some way, shape, or form, the strategy is to turn tribal chief into a babyface. He is the guy that's actually here for WWE.
And he actually wanted Cody. He made the argument. He didn't go beg him. He said, I'm not going to beg you. I'm a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But he explained his point.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the best two, or you can take a shot at one.
Yeah.
Choice is yours. He said, I'm going to make it real easy for you. Like, he wanted that challenge again, so to speak, as far as Cody goes. And, again, if we're going Rock, I mean, he's kind of like, I tried to give them what they want. He could play that up
Mm-hmm.
and promos in the future. I tried to give you guys Cody. Here comes my cousin walking in with his dumbass. He can do his whole thing. And he can-
Uh-huh.
his whole shtick of, making fun of the guy, whatever it is. And, like, he took Cody's moment. He took that from you. Like, that kind of, he could play.
I
the
honestly
babyface.
believe that is a phenomenal selling point. You could run this as a triple threat. And have Rock as the prototypical Hollywood Rock. And if you were not around for Hollywood Rock from 20 years ago, incredible.
It's like Bautista times like 14.
Incredible. What he's able to do just to walk in the door. And again, remember, The Rock in his mind thinks he's doing the right things. The Rock in his mind, from a storyline standpoint, he is thinking, nobody wants Roman as champion. Roman has disrespected my family. I'm going to make sure that you have a guy at the head of the table, me, who has been there, done that, who is the best representative for this family. I'm the only one who can save this family. He thinks he's doing the right thing. And for 25 years, nobody has told him wrong. Nobody has told Rock, hey, we don't want you here. You're the people's champ. You're the head of the table. But all of a sudden, the backlash, people are going to, you took the moment away from Cody. Well, wait a minute. Cody owes it to me. I'm making Cody the bigger star. No. Cody makes himself the bigger star. You think you need me. This thing makes itself. This makes itself. I'm in. I'm in.
Listen, I hope they go that direction.
I am in.
Cody actively just saying, like, I'm picking Seth. And just being like, yeah, I just gave it to The Rock. We talked, and it was that you can't do it.
No.
And if they do that in the press conference, I almost don't want to talk about it next week because it's like, dude, that's so frustrating.
I know.
Like, and it's still the World Heavyweight Championship has a great lineage that goes back to Ric Flair and all these guys and everything too, and it means something. But I mean, it is the title at the end of the day that Dusty held and got taken away from him. Like, if that truly is the origin of his story, so to speak, it can't just be, The Rock became a board member and I acquiesced and I basically olayed him into the position. And now I'm going to settle for the other champion who's hurt. Like,
And then,
they have work to do.
yeah.
Even after the press conference.
Yeah, they do.
To
Yeah,
make
they do.
us, whatever they decide, to make it actually make sense over the next, 5, 6, 7 weeks, whatever.
Because let's say they do go the triple threat route that I'm excited for, but let's say they go with it. To your point, why is Rock in the picture in the first place?
Make it so if it's a triple threat,
Yeah. Let's just explore it for a second.
that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That is huge
Yeah.
because that would be probably the biggest possible match because The Rock is included.
Mm-hmm.
It also saves Roman from taking the pin,
Mm.
so you can keep that storyline with Cody and Roman going afterwards.
You could.
Roman can use that excuse of I never lost.
Mm-hmm.
You can still protect him.
Yeah.
He can still claim
Mm-hmm.
I'm still undefeated.
Yeah.
I never lost.
Yeah.
You ain't the one. when you beat his ass.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Like they can do that kind of thing and make it make sense. The Rock can give it to Cody, essentially. That kind of thing. I'm not saying lay down in the ring.
Right.
But I mean, at the same point, it's like, okay, that gives Roman an out, and that gives Cody and Roman a chance to have a proper feud over the next bunch of major shows.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the foreign shows or it's SummerSlam or whatever it is. You can build to that.
And it is obviously clear that unlike when this happened with Bryan, Triple H, everybody's laying this on thick.
Mhm.
That we want Cody. I believe the signs were handed out.
That was bullshit.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
They were handed out on Raw. Michael Cole dropping in that line, when the chance of Rocky sucks. Oh, is this 1996? Like just dropping in little things like that. And
It's amazing what happens when Michael Cole wasn't getting taught to in his ear. He can just go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even from a national perspective, George Kittle, who's a noted WWE fan, he was asked about it at Super Bowl opening night, and he had a whole thing. And Triple H posted this is cool. I will give him this to this point before we know what happened with the press conference. This has turned into a fun week.
They're being talked about, and in a wrestling company in 2024, it's a big deal if you're making headlines all over the place. So for whatever it's worth, whether you're happy The Rock's back, whether you're not, at the end of the day, like, it's getting more pickup than just Cody saying, I choose you, and then it just ends up being the Monday after, okay, he picked Roman. Like, the fact they've went through this process, for better or worse, it's getting a lot of eyeballs and a lot of attention on the product. At the end of the day, it's WrestleMania 40. They're trying to market this as the biggest one of all time, of course. It's a round number, that kind of thing. Like, this is what they wanted.
And they're using Roman numerals. They're finally using it again.
XL. Size I've been in since I was in 6th grade. Let's get it. I'm a big boy.
I remember the old story of I read about it. I don't know if it's true. So Pete, for Super Bowl 30, Super Bowl XXX, were people getting in trouble like on the internet because they were typing in XXX Super Bowl back then on the computer?
Okay, so what Super Bowl is this one now?
This was, 30. I believe,
No.
Cowboys and Steelers.
No. This year is what, 51?
58.
58.
Yes.
So you're talking 28 years ago.
Holy crap.
So you're talking
96?
96?
96.
Was that a Favre Super Bowl?
That's
a year after Favre.
That was Cowboys Steelers.
Okay. So most likely, no.
Because that's not where people's minds went right away.
Because most people in 96 didn't really have the internet. The internet really wasn't it was there, but it wasn't that was AOL. People were going on AOL.
Yeah.
Back in my day, the internet wasn't a thing.
So people were they were probably going on AOL because that was back when you're getting like the freaking diskettes in the mail. Not even CDs. You're getting diskettes.
Little mini disc. Little mini disc.
This is dial-up modem time, man.
I remember I got in trouble once at home because we were using dial-up internet and my mom couldn't call the house.
I believe it.
So we had to be. She got home at 6, so my brother and I needed to be off the dial-up internet by like 5:40. Her drive home, we need to be off.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed on for an extra 5 minutes. I think we was playing a game of like candystand.com. And we got a good talking to.
And what year was that?
That was 2000.
See, 2000, right? So
2002.
So to put things in perspective, in 97, I was working for a medical billing company over in Highland Heights. And we were able to get two pairs off of a T1 line for internet for the entire company. The entire company shared this internet, and it was blazing fast for the time. It was a whopping 128K.
Whew.
So, yeah, 1996, there aren't a lot of people. They definitely weren't Googling stuff.
They're waiting for the image. Little cube by cube. Oh, that's the top half.
Someone answers the phone. Someone picked up the phone and it breaks. Yeah.
So you're telling me X wasn't around? And
Well, it was, but I'm just saying there weren't a lot of people. There probably weren't a lot of people that had internet at work.
Oh, there was a different kind of X around back then. Still around now.
Mm.
I'm here
All right.
for a good time, not a long time.
Let's reason with the Cody fans for a hot second. Let's reason.
Okay.
Let's go back to last Friday at about 9:57 or whatever. We were doing a game, but when you got word that The Rock came back and Cody, shook The Rock's hand and went off.
He bro hugged him.
Yeah, bro hugged him and
It was like and then a hug,
How did-
little something,
yeah.
something in the ear, little giggle. And
How
then
did you feel? How did you feel at that moment?
holy fuck, The Rock's here.
Me too.
I assumed, like we talked about before, we both assumed The Rock was going to win the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was smart of them not to do that because, of course, then you're like, oh, maybe he's not coming back.
Yeah.
You play more into the whatever. And I still think that it would have made more sense to have Punk win, but obviously hindsight being 2020, good, they didn't do that
Right.
because he wouldn't be able to take advantage of that,
Right.
obviously. He'd be the first person to win the Royal Rumble and get his title shot at SummerSlam. But nevertheless, like with that situation, I was like, okay. I mean, my card looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna go face Seth for the 4th time,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just gonna be Rock and Roman. Okay, well, my 2 main events are set. Awesome. I feel good. And then Bayley Dio, like we suggested, and all that stuff. And they're gonna do the Elimination Chamber for the women to see who faces Rhea, and it's gonna be a whole thing. And even though they're running out of weeks to actually do matches, like
That is true.
they only did one match on Raw,
Yeah.
and Becky won it.
They're
But-
going to do another match next week.
But there's only like 2 weeks till Elimination Chamber.
Right.
So they kind of got to pick their shit up here unless people are just automatically getting into it
I
and
don't
don't
know.
know about.
Maybe they'll throw it at an NXT person. Who knows? And it might do an NXT qualifier.
Shout out
But-
Tiffany Stratton for getting on SmackDown. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So interesting little layer in there.
So the first time I found out about the Rock coming back and stuff, it was at Pete's driveway.
Because he did.
Because your truck broke down, the tire, so I had to take Pete and Jacob back home, take them back. And I don't know if they looked out the window, but I sat in their driveway for like an extra 5 minutes. Because I saw what happened. I'm like, oh.
He was that thing that we call tired. That's what it was. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he was, yeah.
So I'm looking at this, and the first thing I see on top of the Rock's back, face off, Cody fans pissed. They're just like, ooh, how can they do this to Cody? How can they do this? So I actually put myself in that mindset for a hot second. All right, why would they do this? I went back home, and I'm like, all right, I'll just go ahead. I actually watched the entire SmackDown after the game when I went home.
Samesies.
Fast forward, through some parts.
Yep.
And got to the whole final segment, and I will admit, when Rock came out, I smiled. I didn't think at that moment about the what the heck is going on moment. I didn't feel the way that I felt when The Rock basically main evented the first go-around, took the championship away from Punk.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel that way at all. I didn't feel the same way that I did when Daniel Bryan was screwed over 10 years ago. I didn't feel that way at all. I think this is different. Cody, and people are like, well, this is what happened with Bryan. They took away the main event from Daniel Bryan. They did this. Cody was in the main event last year.
Yeah.
This is not, if this would have happened last year, this exact same scenario, and Cody never gets the opportunity in the main event, yeah, that's pretty messed up.
The problem is so they had him win the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing though about this. If you weren't going to have him be in that match with Roman,
Right.
don't have him win. I get it's awesome. You want to give him a 2-time, the back-to-back thing. But if you're going to do that, all the other guys that won back-to-back, they're main event in WrestleMania.
Main event, and not just main eventing,
It's
but
the-
Stone Cold
Yeah.
in his second Rumble win in a row. His second win, that was the passing of the torch. That was against Shawn Michaels. Attitude Era, the official start right there.
When Shawn won it, same thing.
Uh-huh.
It was him taking over for those couple of years before obviously giving it to Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And I think what was the other one? It was Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Point proven at
Well,
that
yeah,
point,
yeah,
right?
well, it's
He
Hulk.
was the guy. Yeah, that was the thing. So if you're gonna give him that moniker, that's why at the end of the day, it doesn't sit right with me as far as like he's not giving
That part I understand. That part I 100% agree, and I agree with all of you. That part I get.
It's like,
what I
why?
don't get is the whole, well, they did this to CM Punk years ago. They did this to Daniel Bryan years ago. No, they didn't.
Punk had a 434-day reign as champion and get stopped by The Rock. Like, if you're going to have a long title reign stopped by somebody, it might as well be someone like that.
Punk I understood because of that long championship reign, and he wasn't main eventing shows until he turned heel.
Yeah.
He was being displaced in the main event
Mhm.
by John Laurinaitis. I understand.
Mhm.
I get it. The Daniel Bryan thing, I understand. You went through this whole story.
He wasn't
and
even in the Rumble then.
And he really wasn't in the Rumble.
He wasn't at all. He wasn't even a participant.
Philadelphia booed Rey Mysterio. You don't boo Rey Mysterio.
This hat, like, honestly, and again, like I said, we don't know the results of the press conference yet. You guys probably have seen it by now, or it's coinciding with when you're kind of viewing this, whatever it is. Like, this stinks of WrestleMania 30
Mm-hmm.
as far as the Daniel Bryan storyline goes. Like, it's exactly, we got a champ who people know is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Randy was the champ then. Roman's the champ now. Got the guy coming back, supposed to be this crazy big return, Batista, The Rock. Then you got the third guy, the one that people actually want,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of sitting on the outside, like, how do I get in? Cody and, of course, Daniel Bryan. Like, it kind of just...
So are we making it clear right now that Cody facing Seth Rollins is a step down? For the world title, it's a step down.
I don't know if it's
at WrestleMania.
I don't know if it's a step down, but it's not what the people want.
Mhm.
And if they really truly are about trying to make this like the best fan experience, the triple threat makes a lot more sense than just going Cody and Seth. Because for as much as Seth needs that match, Cody doesn't.
Mm.
Cody doesn't have to win that match. Seth could technically win that match and it wouldn't matter. So it's like, oh, okay. Like, it just doesn't seem like it's a need on their end, and it's not going to do anything. People are going to boo that entire match.
Yeah.
It's going to bring Seth down. You're going to probably lose a little bit of fire on Cody too at that point.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to think, okay, they're never going to give Cody an opportunity on the biggest stage. Fuck it.
And you don't want. Let me run a scenario for the podcast that I ran by you last weekend. So I personally like the triple threat, just period.
Yeah.
But let's just say I'll just run the scenario by you. Tell me what you think. Night one, Cody versus Seth, World Heavyweight Championship. That's your night one main event. And then you have Rock Roman on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of Cody and Seth, the winner wins the world title. The winner also insert themselves into the night two main event in a winner take all.
It's predictable at that point, though, unfortunately. Because you're not going to have Seth, who just got off his injury, or possibly is still maybe not 100%, wrestle 2 times in 2 days like that, in 2 big matches like that. Even though you could hide him a little more in a triple threat, but it's also The Rock. It's not Roman Reigns and AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. It's a guy that hasn't wrestled properly in probably, almost a decade, versus a guy that wrestles 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Versus a guy that wrestles a lot, almost too much.
Yeah.
And his body is breaking down.
And he would be expected to carry the match.
Exactly.
He would be.
Or Roman's got to step the fuck up and have a good match. I don't know.
In a storyline sense, you can say, wait a minute, I am your equal. How can you say I'm not the equal?
You can make it make sense.
You can make it make sense.
And that's the sad part about any of these scenarios. You can find ways to make it make sense.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of a double-edged sword, because on one end you're like, okay, it'd be kind of cool to see this or see that or see this or see that, but it's like, we know what we want to see. We know what everybody does want to see. I think the best scenario is the special guest referee, Rock, because he can stoke the fire a little bit. But are we going to see that? Who knows?
I'm not sure if I'm completely on board with the special referee.
He gets to be involved in the main event, and it frees up Seth to possibly go after Drew or whatever it is, and you can do a thing where
I'm not on board, probably because it brings back Mania 27 vibes. You're probably thinking, which WrestleMania was that? And I
Miz and
understand if
Cena.
he was. It was Miz and Cena.
No, but that was different because they were building to John to him.
Right. This doesn't need that. I understand doing it then. I greatly understand it was the right call to do it back then.
Also, Rock's not going to attacking Roman in this situation. The Rock's stopping Solo and, Jimmy from getting involved.
So you're saying, just to be clear, special enforcer.
No, I'd have him be the special
You're
ref.
saying the special ref.
But he catches Solo trying to spike Cody or whatever it was, and he basically stares him down. And because Rock's an elder,
Okay.
Solo actually goes away. That could be a situation where it's like, oh.
So does his charisma.
Well, he just has to give chances to talk. Solo's actually not that bad on the mic. It's the character he's playing for now. But this is how, like,
let's go, Triple H, let's go. Make Solo freaking watchable.
if it really is about the long game with The Rock, like he says it is all the time,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you build that
I
full
got you.
story. Because Roman can disappear for a while. He could lose that championship and just be like, I'm lost. Like,
So-
what do I do?
So maybe we'll do a poll. Let's run a poll. Would you rather? How can we do this? Option 1. Do you just want Cody and Roman
Yeah.
and say, rock it the hell out of here?
I stir him down just to look my cousin in the eyes. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Leave. Get out of here. Option 2, your scenario, which is Cody versus Roman.
Rock special guest.
Rock is special guest referee. Or my scenario, not the one I just presented, but the one I like, which is triple threat.
Yeah.
Roman, Hollywood Rock, Cody, main event.
And to be honest, you can't really go wrong with any of those three. But it just feels weird not involving Cody
Mm-hmm.
in whatever is going to happen in that stuff.
Yeah.
I personally don't mind that triple threat. I think that can work.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cody can carry that match. Roman can bring his thing to it, and Rock can be able to pick his spots. He can get his shit in, as they would say.
Yeah.
But like,
Get your spots in.
get your rock bottoms and your
Get your-
elbows and your.
Get your 5 moves of doom. Sorry, wrong wrestler.
If he's at like 6 now.
I know he does.
Spinning back fist. He has
Yeah.
that one. Chris Jericho copied that, and then picked that up in China, and then pre-Wuhan, and then
Uh-huh.
he did the whole thing. So
Speaking of Jericho, not really Jericho related, but AEW related. During the taping of our show, apparently Tony Khan has a major announcement.
he has another one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Is it Mercedes?
I don't know.
Well, it's what it's. Yeah, we should hold on.
Yeah, the show
This is
ended.
so unprofessional.
It,
yeah.
it very well is. Well, let's see what he said.
I'm gonna turn this down so I can just because I don't have social media, so I have to TikTok it.
I mistakenly, you guys were talking about something serious, and I played a Johnny Bravo
Nice.
clip.
Love to see it.
All Elite Wrestling, 17 seconds ago of our taping, as announced by AEW CEO and GM Tony Khan, AEW returns to TD Garden in Boston on Wednesday, March 13th.
Special guest Mercedes
With
Moné.
AEW Dynamite Big Business.
So he just unofficially announced.
AEWTix.com for your tickets.
He unofficially just made that word Mercedes is going to debut. She's from Boston. Yeah, so it's
Kyle, it's a big deal. Sasha's coming back. AEW's in big business. It's a big deal. We do say on the YouTube channel, we do cover top AEW storylines too.
our big announcement is that we're going to make another big announcement a month and a week from now. Fucking stupid. Just, dude, if you're going to make that kind of announcement, tell everyone she's going to debut so you can sell more fucking tickets. How about that?
It's like, dude, come.
Just say it.
There's some business one-on-one thing. It's just.
I wonder why she picked AEW. Look at the landscape of that women's division. Other than Tony Storm, yeah, they must have paid her a lot more
Yeah.
because the WWE women's division too is fucking stacked.
It's stacked.
TNA's women's division is almost more stacked than AEW's.
It's stacked.
After what Jordan Grace did in the Rumble, she looks better than almost anybody on TV right now besides Rhea Ripley or Bayley.
Sasha, to me, comes across. I know she's talented, but she bets big on herself.
Which is
and I
nothing
give
wrong
her
with that. Nothing wrong with
that's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
And she bets big on herself. And I have to imagine that she is getting paid way more AEW than she ever would have in WWE.
Keep spending that money.
Keep spending. Hey, and we say
Good to know it's affecting those ratings. Yeah.
AEW needs the money, or AEW needs the. They need people. They need butts and seats.
Maybe they'll pop $1 million once and then they'll go back down to where they were before.
They need
Probably
butts in seats. Badly. Well, at least they'll get it in Boston.
Boston one show. And then they'll go back to what they're doing.
Hey, it starts with one, right? It starts with one.
Unfortunately, it ends with one then, too. Jesus.
It does, you know.
Just announced she's going to be there. You could sell out the entire TD Garden if you did that. With this, there's still a chance you're going to have some empty seats.
Yeah. Are you having a hard time focusing on the rest of the WWE product because of everything that's going on with Cody and Rock? And
No.
I mean, it's a bunch of entertaining stuff. Like, we didn't even touch on Bayley, winning the Rumble.
Having her Batista moment, 2005 Batista moment.
Amazing.
She looked good in that. They planned that. Babyface Bayley's back.
Yeah.
Sorry, Baby Cakes Bayley's back.
She doesn't need to do the huggers or anything like that.
I think she will do that for WrestleMania, though. She'll have the wacky waving inflatable two men come out.
I don't want that.
I don't want her doing like the side pony or whatever. I think she's past that.
Yeah.
But that moment, the fans are gonna fucking pop for it. I'm just saying, Babyface Bayley with that.
She just needs to be a grown woman. Grown woman.
The theme song actually isn't that bad. It's catchy.
I know the theme song. It's nice. She just needs to be a grown woman.
You know they're gonna do it.
Whooping ass.
She could still have that whoop some ass. She beat Sasha with that theme song and those fucking crazy little things flying around.
She doesn't need those crazy inflatables.
She does.
She's
It's
past
not.
that.
It's not a regular thing. It's not going to be every week anymore.
Those days are done.
Special WrestleMania entrance. People will lose their shit.
I don't.
I promise you. And did you notice too? Like she stopped doing like the regular hair and she started putting her hair in a pony again on top. That's what I knew right away. It's like she's gonna go back to being a face, isn't she, at some point? She changed up her
Number
hair.
one giveaway for a character change is that hair.
Hair change.
It always is that hair.
Look at Steve Austin. Shaved his head. Then he became an
As soon
asshole.
as you shave.
Worked.
Yeah.
As soon as she
Soon as
goes
you
out with
shave
a
your head. Zip it that way.
Don't say that about Shotzi. She had a good reason to do that.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And she still looked pretty good, honestly.
They need to give her a bigger tank. She can't be coming out there in that little ass tank.
It's it's the same tank. It's
tank, not tank top. She actually comes out, Pete, in a tank.
A physical tank.
A physical.
It's like a little mini. It's like a mini tank they made, and it shoots out pyro from the thing. Yeah, look that shit up. It's funny.
One of the many times in the show where Pete's like,
"What the fuck?
What the hell?
What are they talking about?" So this girl, right? She's like 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
Comes out in a fucking tank.
Yeah.
She's got green hair, by the way, and she's a punk rock chick.
Yeah.
Like she's fucking awesome.
Oh,
and
man.
like yeah,
It's
it's,
like G.I. Jane or whatever.
well, no, no military vibes at all.
No.
Almost like just like a renegade type vibe.
Yeah.
Type thing. Like
Yeah.
she's like a death metal tattooed
So
up.
was it like Tank Girl? Was that the
We'll call her Tank Girl.
Tank Girl?
Yeah, we'll go with
comic-
that.
We'll call her Tank.
There was a comic. There was a comic characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shotzi's now Tank Girl.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's put that in our
Somehow
notes.
works better. I don't understand.
That's a character change.
That's a Vince character.
That's a Vince character.
We're gonna call her Tank Girl, pal.
Oh, damn it.
Stupid.
Idiot. So
You ain't wrong.
the story's going to be great.
Yeah.
And they have built, I will give them this, they have built that damage control story. And no Dakota Kai, by the way.
Interesting part.
Interesting.
Where does she fit in all of this? Also, is she fucking cleared? She tore her ACL. It's a 9-month injury. She's been out for like a year and a half.
I know.
What the fuck are they doing with her? Like her knee brace is off.
Uh-huh.
She was walking around fine. You're almost
Did she
waiting.
do like a hit with Kathy Kelly? in the back?
Probably at some
Well,
point.
let's pretend like we didn't see that. But entertaining content. But yeah, she was not out there. What happened, EO? Ever since they came around,
How does she feel about all this? Because Bayley was the one that brought her back too. Because Dakota was originally let go, and that was all part of the Triple H thing when he first took over. It's like I'm trying to find some women to bring back in, build around.
but who brought in the Kabuki Warriors?
That's the biggest question. Was it EO, or was it?
I have to
Dakota
imagine
Kai.
it was EO, but like that's her friends.
But now Bayley was calling Dakota the puppet master.
Mm.
So it's kind of like, does she come back to maybe try and help Bayley out when she's getting attacked on a random SmackDown, stop him for a second, then get a chair and hit Bayley?
Bayley is the best babyface WWE has at this moment. And it's amazing that happened. Because up until...
Are you sure about that? Well, are you talking about women or men? Or all together?
I think all together at the moment.
Really?
Until Cody answers why he stepped aside.
Well, which we'll find out, but yeah.
But think about this. Bayley was a heel all the way through that until like 2 minutes before the attack. She was a heel going into that promo. She was ready to face Rhea Ripley.
And it's little things too, like after she walked out, they were talking shit about her in Japanese or whatever it was, hugging herself.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, there you go.
There you go. Standing there in the corner, just like Batista. Oh, he ain't coming after my championship.
So we're finding out more about Triple H's writing style and his creative piece. He just
and
wants to
Shawn
recreate.
Michaels. And Shawn, they're both doing it.
They're doing the same fucking thing.
They're doing the same thing.
Hey, what do we do that was working like in the mid 2000s? Oh fuck, let's do that again.
So if we see Bayley and Io Sky in they do pay-per-views now, but in a Hell in a Cell match, like the third match of the trilogy,
First
you know
blood.
why. First blood.
Hell in a Cell, first
yeah,
blood.
First blood. I don't know if that's a good idea for a women's match, but
Progressive. It's you like that one.
That's not a good idea.
You guys need to get your mind out of the ovarian gutter.
Oh man. I don't know, man.
Well, I also looked up Shotzi's tank, so
There you go.
yeah.
There
it's
you
like,
go.
It's like they modified Power Wheel. So yeah.
She needs a bigger one.
She talked about that. She's like, yeah, that's what it is. It's like a modified like kids thing or whatever it is. They put shit on. The actual gun shoots out like pyro, like towards like the announce board over the ring, essentially. So it's kind of cool. It's different,
It is.
but it is kind of a tiny tank, and she's tiny.
It just reminds me of this.
Little
cats.
animals and
Those are
box.
Roombas. Those are Roombas, 100%.
Oh yeah, the cat tanks on Roombas.
Good job on those cat parents to be able to train their cats to be able to stay in those things too.
Yeah.
Not paw around, just kind of hang out. They're just driving Roombas around.
Those are hard to do, but they're doing. And she might be, or they might be in the elimination chamber.
There you go.
Yeah, who the fuck knows
Might happen.
at this point?
I think
Well,
there's
Liv's
just-
going to be in it, probably.
Well, yeah. Well,
Liv, Becky.
qualifying match. Becky is in.
Liv will get in.
Liv will get in.
She's getting pushed as like one of the main eventers.
Rhea, I think, is main eventing against Nia Jax.
Yes.
Which I think will lead to, again, I think Becky will win the chamber. I think Nia will find a way to force herself into the triple threat.
She'll just like sit on people until
Yeah.
they decide to put her in it. So
Drew McIntyre is putting in the best work of his career right here, right now.
this,
In front of the camera, on social media, right now he is undefeated.
the sad part is, like Drew in the Rumble era, essentially, like when he won his Rumble, the Brock Lesnar moment, whatever it was, like that to me felt like best Drew, because the reaction he got to all that. This stuff is entertaining, and like I said, it's almost like an AEW tryout at this point. It's like hey, they're gonna pay me a shit ton of money. What are you guys gonna do? It gives me Scott Hall, Kevin Nash vibes.
Explain.
From a standpoint of, we know there's going to be some sort of, I know MJF's big thing was bidding war, but we're going to see a big money offer come in, and is WWE going to match it? Both guys really didn't want to leave, but it was like, I mean, they're giving me all this money. I'm working less dates. You know, I could still be on TV. You know, I got some buddies over there, whatever it is, you know, like it's.
I'm telling you, the work that he's putting in. I'm not saying that Drew goes to AEW, everything changes, but it's a little bit of a needle mover. Just a little bit. The work that he's putting in right now. And I think what's interesting, we both assume Cody will be facing Roman and Rock in some capacity.
Somewhere around that title.
So
Somewhere,
if Cody is out of the World Heavyweight Championship picture, well, Seth has to face somebody. And why not face the man who I believe right now is, right now, Drew McIntyre is killing it on Raw. He's killing it. And the story I proposed when we did our cards last week, you have the guy who basically said, Seth Rollins basically told Drew McIntyre, you have nobody to blame but yourself for why you're losing your championship matches and championship opportunities. And Drew McIntyre, since that moment in time, has developed an edge. He's developed an Adam.
Mhm.
And since developing an Adam,
He's developed Adam Copeland.
yeah, Adam. Since developing an Adam,
Wrong Adam.
all of a sudden, this Drew McIntyre cannot be stopped.
I have a match for you for WrestleMania that may make some sense too, because of the spotlight that he's getting in this whole Drew McIntyre situation too. Would you be okay with Seth versus Drew versus Sammy in a triple threat at Mania? Does that make it a little bigger? Does it take some of the work off of Seth too in that match to put more on Sammy and Drew to like kind of mask his injury a little more?
I get what you're saying.
So, because in this scenario, we have a triple threat possibly on the one end with The Rock. Would make sense to have the other big match for the title be a triple threat too, right? Because Sammy doesn't really have a direction if it isn't part of that.
I
And
don't
you
want
have-
two triple threats.
You have him facing Jinder
I know. I still think that's a money match.
in your presidential 2024.
I think that's a money match.
Stupid.
Think about the potential. President Trump trying to build that wall. Jinder Mahal trying to bring the country together. Because Americans, we all think we're good enough. We all think we're the best. But we can barely drink alcohol. And Jinder Mahal, President Trump, right there. And then the biggest liberal in WWE, Sami Zayn, with Joe Biden, President Biden, right there.
Can you imagine that walk? I think I talked about that before too. He's gonna jog down the WrestleMania ramp. That thing is long. It's like a football field.
3 steps at a time.
Oh my God!
You don't think President Biden could do the little rundown like Ultimate Warrior?
like
WrestleMania
Ultimate
6?
Warrior, dead sprint Joe Biden to the ring.
He might fall and like roll down there. I don't know.
We're gonna roll the president to the ring. Over.
I mean, Trump is gonna walk out. He'll go in the Undertaker pace. His walkout.
He'll get like a platform and get rolled out.
Yeah, he'll have a platform.
No. You know what's gonna happen?
Oh.
They're gonna come out on elephants.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
If we're gonna do this shit,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Spare no expense. This is WrestleMania XL, baby. Elephants. Do it.
All right. Let's put your news background to the test here.
Fuck.
Pete, you can jump in on this.
Uh-oh.
This pay-per-view, this Mania is in Philadelphia. Let's say they roll with this match. Let's say they do this match.
Yeah.
Who gets cheered? Who gets booed? Let's go. Get some real hardcore analysis here on the Side Hustle Podcast.
It's a blue city, so Sammy's gonna get cheered. Sammy will get cheered. Biden will get so either one of those guys are gonna get kind of booed and cheered. No, people will cheer for Sammy because people actually like Sammy. Nobody likes Jinder, so he doesn't know about the wrestling guys, but
Yeah,
he
I
knows
don't
about
know.
the
You don't have
wrestling.
to analyze the wrestling. I'll just put it to you this way.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a blue city, but I guess my thought would be like, but just because it's a blue city, what's the makeup of the audience? That's the thing.
You gotta think about this too. Like, this is not just an arena show. You got people from all over the country,
all over the world.
all over the world coming in. This is a global event.
Well, and the thing is, does the wrestling audience particularly lean one way or the other? I mean, if it was a NASCAR event, I could tell you exactly who would get booed.
I think he brought up a good point too with how they're going to lean with that. I think the perception outside the U.S. is that Donald Trump is a blowhard, and that Biden is more just like old. So I think they'd be lean towards Sammy. The international crowd.
This has potential. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar Mania 20.
So fucking stupid.
We're like,
this is the worst.
Look, man. Look.
Both of you leave. Go away. Not Sammy and Jinder. You guys can stay. You two, get the fuck out. Those two elephants you came down on, Donald and Jinder, take that. Get back on the fuck. Don't even get off the elephant. Stay on it. Pull Joe up. He can ride fucking bitch on it for you, and you both can just leave. Someone make that meme, by the way, of Donald Trump and Joe Biden riding on an elephant in that order. Trump riding front, has the saddles. Joe Biden riding bitch behind him. That'd be fantastic.
I'm actually more excited for this match than any other match. But
if this happens, he's going to lose his fucking mind. I'm not even
Let
kidding.
this happen.
And listen, me too.
And let this happen.
100%.
Let this happen. We're gonna create a graphic.
You sold me on this.
We're
I want it
gonna
to
create
happen.
a graphic. Sami Zayn with Joe Biden in his corner, Jinder Mahal with Donald Trump in his corner. And they gotta cut promos leading into the match, too.
Oh, no.
They gotta cut promos.
Biden cutting a WrestleMania promo from his fucking desk in the White House. Trump's like, been there. Done that. Do it again. Fuck.
Special guest referee Nikki Haley. Okay, let's move on. That just killed the pitch.
That's where The Rock's going to be in at WrestleMania.
There you go.
There's a special
now
guest referee.
That's TKO putting a statement.
Yeah, they're stating something at that.
Oh boy, they are.
Poor Drew. We started off talking about him, and now it's about Sammy and Jinder with Biden and Trump in their fucking corners. We got elephants. We got platforms.
You can't tell me you don't think Joe Biden can sprint down to the ring
No.
like Ultimate Warrior?
The only thing Joe Biden can sprint is his fucking phone provider.
Hey,
That's not a thing anymore, I don't think.
It's not.
It's
know.
not. T-Mobile bought it.
I know.
Yeah. Or no, sorry, it was a merger.
My ass.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. Had to learn the sprint systems.
Oh, Jesus.
Operate like it's 1996. I think they were able to cover Super Bowl 30 in 2024.
Fuck.
My goodness.
I'm glad we were able to talk about that. That's great. Do we get any questions this week?
We have a few, but I mean, most of the tie-in, everyone's waiting on the
press conference.
Everyone's waiting on the press conference.
Good job, WWE. We had to build it up. I mean, they made that thing. It's like an extra show this week. Like it's
unbelievable.
It's Raw, NXT, press conference, SmackDown. Like it felt like it was a huge thing. Hopefully it was. Again, like I said, we'll react to the press conference in full next week in our live remote show. I shouldn't say live, but just a remote show.
In Hawaii. Well, you will be in Hawaii.
I will be in Hawaii, yes. You guys will be there with me in spirit.
Yeah.
And on Zoom.
You'll be in Hawaii. Why are you going to Hawaii, by the way?
So, my wife and
that
I...
That sounds very ignorant, but I'm,
Pete, this ties into the whole situation with iHeart, which we're going to talk about in a second, too, because we're back in iHeartMedia. How about that? Whether you guys know it or not, we're going to explain that in a second. Big one for me. But so when I was let go from WTAM, my wedding was 3 weeks later.
Ooh.
Great time to get let go by a company when you're about to get married.
Hey, at least CM Punk got.
I didn't get the FedEx in the mail. I got it 3 weeks early. Yeah, they FedEx CM Punk on his wedding day, saying he was fired from WWE, which was funny. Nothing like getting made. It's supposed to be the best day of your life, and he's like, "No, turns out being the best day of my life anyway." But yeah, so we got married September 12th, 2020, during the pandemic. Our honeymoon, which I had booked back in February, which I was telling these guys about around that time, was to Hawaii. Going to be an awesome trip. We were super excited. I was keeping an eye on when they were doing COVID protocols and all that too. They were supposed to lift their ban, Hawaii was, and if you got tested within a day or two, whatever it was, you were supposed to be able to go out and do your stuff, that kind of thing. We made the flights, got down to Hawaii in October of that year. The issue was they extended the ban by 2 weeks. And the ban was you have to be quarantined in your not your hospital, but in your hotel room for 2 weeks before you were allowed to leave. Test, no test, didn't matter. So we got to Hawaii and we basically had to park ourselves in our hotel room. When you broke the seal on your door, they put a new seal on. If you broke that seal again, you could be arrested, essentially.
Well, that sounds like a free state, doesn't it?
Unless you were going back to the airport to leave. That was their whole thing.
Wow.
And we had a beautiful room. We had the balcony. We could see the ocean on one side. We had a great bar and the mountains on the other. It was fantastic. So we ended up going to L.A. and having our honeymoon there, which California, for some reason, was way more open than Hawaii in that situation. But this is essentially...
You sound very surprised.
Well, honestly.
Well, yeah. That is. That's honestly more of a comment on just how insane Hawaii went with everything.
They were the second most strict state when it comes to restrictions on COVID.
Because California
overall
was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think New York was number one, but like Hawaii was like right there.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a do-over for us.
Good.
We get to
Good.
experience Hawaii. Pearl Harbor is big for me. My grandpa served in the Navy. He was there at Pearl Harbor. He was stationed.
Yeah.
He fought in the Pacific during World War II. So great moment for me to be able to see that. Just enjoy the area too. We're not gonna do a rental car.
Okay.
We're gonna walk and do some stuff.
Good,
over there.
good.
So I know that they have a zoo. They have an aquarium nearby. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff. So it's gonna be fun. But,
Meanwhile, this week, Rebecca and I met with met with the pastor, and we have a tentative wedding date.
nice.
Tentative wedding date.
You want to tell everyone so they can all show up?
Sure. And it's tentative. It's not official until we pay our dues.
How do you
else?
pay dues in a church?
You slip the pastor an envelope of cash.
I had another idea, but yours is more PG, so we're gonna roll with that one. You slipped the patch or something else.
Saturday, June 28th of next year.
All right. Nice.
Next year. And cannot wait. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it, but
I would hope so. Otherwise, this podcast it took a big turn here.
No, looking forward to it. All right, we did get a couple questions. Some a little bit recycled, some are new.
Sorry. Did you draw this?
No, I tried to do an AI generated thing, but
Please show to the camera.
the best it could do with
Biden on a elephant. Hold on,
well,
I
yeah,
gotta-
no, but the thing is, I put
There we
Trump
go.
riding an elephant, Biden riding bitch, had AI draw it, and the best I could do was
This elephant's backwards.
no, Biden.
It's got no. This elephant has 5 legs. It's backwards.
This thing is deformed.
Look at that thing.
This is the 2024 election. It is deformed.
Biden riding bitch is just Biden riding backwards. No Trump to be found, by the way. He fell off.
Ladies and
Do
gentlemen,
you see his face? Do you see Biden's face on there?
I see inflation.
I see.
I see inflation. Biden on an elephant, by the way.
That's why there's a
Fucking crazy.
That's why there's a fifth leg.
Yeah.
It's inflation.
leg.
Don't tell me, James Cardarelli, we can't talk politics over here.
25% right there.
We're losing the overall message of this too, which is Biden's riding an elephant. Politically, that's fucking insane.
True.
Due to time constraints, maybe both of them have to ride the same elephant
They
on the
kind of
way
have
to
no
the ring.
choice. Yeah, that's why I said Trump can still lift him up because he's 6'4", and he apparently goes to the gym still. So
Okay.
Is there a scenario?
he also shoots under par in golf.
All right, we got time for a few questions
He
here.
owns the course.
We're
He
all
sets
bad
the
at
par.
golf. Just admit it.
He owns the course. He sets the par. Come on. It's one more than whatever he shoots.
I don't just set the
Lord.
par. I am the par.
David, so David made a comment here, not about that match. Back to Rock here.
Yeah.
He says here, I want them to make. Talk about Rock and Roman. He wants to make that match for the tribal chief only. Then the Rock would at least have a chance to win. So, more of a comment, but do you have an issue with this being a championship match? Can they get away with Rock Roman non-title?
I mean, I told you, like, the way around it is having Cody say, you know what, I'm not going to cash in my Royal Rumble or whatever, my win at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Roman, I want you at Elimination Chamber. And that's when Rock could be your special guest referee, that kind of stuff. Because that card for EC is bare bones.
Yeah.
With Seth being out, with CM Punk being out, with some of the guys they had advertised, Gunther maybe not being able to make the trip. Like, you're kind of... And Logan Paul's not going to fight anybody.
And they have to field chamber matches.
Yeah, so you're losing a lot of those
And
challengers.
I wonder if they're only just going to do the women's chamber.
No,
'Cause
I think
they
they'll do
don't-
the men's, too.
Well, they haven't... Maybe they'll do something on SmackDown, but to this point, nothing's been built up for a men's chamber.
So I don't know if you remember this on Raw, but Adam Pearce brought in like Kofi and some of those guys a few weeks ago. I got an idea for the IC title. Come on in, guys. I think they're going to do an IC elimination chamber.
They could.
To see who faces Gunther at
There's
Mania.
also a plug for Friday. They will announce Logan Paul's next challenger for the U.S. Championship.
So is that going to be at EC or is it going to be at WrestleMania, though? That's the thing. Is Logan making the trip to Perth, Australia, Western Australia, which is a significantly longer haul than Eastern Australia, Sydney, Melbourne, that kind of stuff? I don't know. I mean, it would make sense there. And honestly, like, it never needed the title, Roman and Rock. It doesn't really need it. it's more about the family and less about the title, whereas Cody's more about the title and less about the family, obviously. Now, Cody's made it more about everything.
Well, Cody went from I can only take the title to this guy can take everything, but it's
He didn't say this guy. He said, I can take everything from you. He never said The Rock. He never said that guy. He said, do it.
Good point.
What is finishing the story? Is it taking that title from you, Roman? Or is it taking everything from you? That's why I feel like, and again, we don't know. We're talking in pretense before the conference.
What if nothing happens at this press conference?
Oh, I'd be pissed.
What if they just come out of this
I
press
told you.
conference and there's just like, hey, we're glad to be here. This is going to be great for the fans. Voila, good luck.
They're doing too much to make this about nothing.
Good luck to the Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah, but no, like there has to be something with Cody and Rock. Like there has to be something going on where there's a surprise. It's the energy drink. It's the surprise of like,
does that to you?
yeah, either we're making a triple threat or we're doing this match at EC now instead between Cody and Roman, or that way it opens up Seth for Drew or having that, whatever it is. I mean, because Seth isn't going to be at EC either. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, it just doesn't seem, the wordage they've used, the way they've built around this, it doesn't feel like it's just going to be a straight up Rock, Roman, Seth, Cody.
Gotcha.
There's got to be something else at play here. And if there's not, that's the first time we're going to criticize Triple H pretty heavily for the way he's booking this. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense to do it like that.
That's a good point.
So,
our Michael Kelly question of the week.
I love you, Mike.
What's
Miss you, buddy.
happening in the sweet life of Rock and Kobe?
That's a Zach and Cody reference for all you millennials out there. For Pete, you don't know what that is. That was a Disney show that was pretty popular when we were
Great
growing
Disney
up.
Channel show.
Was it?
I was more of a Cartoon Network guy.
I was a Nickelodeon kid.
Nickelodeon.
Rocket Power, all that kind of stuff. That was my jam.
Not me. Somebody said that Rocket Power was overrated.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Somebody
Needs to get shot.
but
Rocket Power was fantastic. Hard to watch now as an adult. I tried. But back when we were kids, dude,
But I was a Cartoon Network. But I watched Nickelodeon for the all that and Kenan and Kel. Everybody did.
yeah, of course.
Everybody did.
Amanda Show.
Yeah, Amanda
She was my
Show.
first celebrity crush, Amanda Bynes.
People don't realize the greatness of the Amanda Show.
And she was like, 2004, she was the man, or she's the man, or whatever it was, that soccer movie. Like,
Mhm.
dude, she was. I'm just saying. I'm a married man, but I'm just saying.
All right, last day before we wrap.
I wasn't when I was 10.
Super Bowl's this Sunday.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Big game.
The big game.
We're not trying to get fined here.
Yeah,
Come on.
The big game.
You're supposed to be a professional. You still did this a couple months ago, dude. What the fuck?
That is true. That is true. There was a video that came out of WFAN in New York. Their producer booked the wrong Randy Moss. The request, and I know what it looks like. The request was one of those like, oh, you're on radio. They're doing Radio Row stuff this week in Vegas, and the request, I believe, said, Randy Moss at the top. Such and such, is in the horse racing, but works for NBC and NFL Network, but wants to promote some horse racing, wants to do this, and also wants to talk Super Bowl, the big game, NFL football, boom. And the producer over in New York booked Randy Moss. Well, the problem, he did not book former Patriot, Viking, Oakland Raider Randy Moss. Black Randy Moss. He instead booked horse racing Kentucky Derby analyst, NBC Sports, Randy Moss.
And he still has a job.
And the moment that happened, I was sitting there like, that's probably something I would have done.
Whoopsie daisy.
So when did they realize? That's
Have they
When
even
they-
realized yet?
when they cut.
That's not
to-
Randy Moss.
So Gio, so this is on Boomer and Gio. So Gio asked this producer, so what is Randy Moss promoting? It's because Radio Row, everyone that's up there is usually promoting something whatever, supplement, whatever, book, whatever. So it's like, what is Randy Moss promoting? Horse racing.
What?
I don't know. Maybe former Patriot. I believe he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he is.
Hall of Fame wide receiver Randy Moss. Maybe he's into horse racing.
Maybe he bought a horse.
Maybe he has a horse.
That's what he wants to lead with?
Maybe he's announcing that he has a horse that he's going to try to compete in the Kentucky Derby. All right, what do you think's happening at this game Sunday?
I have a suspicion, an inclining, if you will,
That there'll be a winner.
that there will 100% be a Taylor Swift sighting at the Super Bowl.
Oh, the math has been done, so yes, we know that.
Yeah, she will be there.
All right, talk about the football side of things.
Oh, there's a game.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
And I'm not annoyed by the Taylor Swift stuff. I actually find it quite enjoyable. I actually watched the Grammys the whole way.
Nice.
Watched it the whole way. I have a woman in my life now.
I was
have to
going to
do
say,
these things.
was that by your choice or was that
was
Rebecca?
not by my choice.
She
We even
was-
watched the red carpet. Can I tell you real quick? The red carpet sucked. How can people watch that? They had people up there who knew nothing about music. And that's why I put that post up. We need TRL back. We need 106 and Park back. We need some of these music shows. We need these music videos. Like, when I used to go to my grandma's, there was a channel called The Box. And it used to show music videos. And all these music channels that...
That's what MTV did for a long time, right?
Back in my day, MTV used to show.
Yeah, it was like, that was what you watched in between, like, the next bus
I was gonna,
and all that stuff. Like, you
I
would
was
just
gonna say the last good red carpet I can remember was when Trey Parker and Matt Stone dropped LSD and showed up in dresses.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
But, like, I'm doing this red carpet, whatever. I'm like, so, what's your favorite outfit?
The one I'm wearing.
Who are you wearing?
Who are you dedicating this to?
I'm not wearing anyone. I'm wearing clothes.
Are you looking forward to winning tonight?
Well, there's no guarantee I'm going to win.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Kyle, over to you.
I'm here with the wrong Randy Moss.
I'm here styling my horse.
I'm here with less famous white Randy Moss.
So I'll say this real quick before we wrap.
I didn't even give you an answer.
Brock Purdy, my criticism of Brock Purdy was that he could not lead a team to victory. Even though he had great stats, he did this, did that, he could not himself take over the game.
Mhm.
That theory went right out the window when he erased the 17-point deficit against the Detroit Lions, I believe in a quarter, in that championship game. And if it wasn't for that, Detroit would be in the Super Bowl. With that being said, I'm still going with Kansas City.
Yep.
Still going to go with Kansas City. Still think Mahomes. It's just a psyche. They're going to find a way. And ultimately, better quarterback play. And better quarterback play. Pacheco's picking things up a little bit on the running game. That will lead to Kansas City getting the W and Mahomes winning another Super Bowl and still having a chance to catch Brady or come close.
He's only 27, 28. He's got time.
Yeah.
And the way he's got the big arm, so that's going to age better because he's not like he's mobile,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not like a running quarterback. So he's built to last for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
And think about this for the Chiefs. This was their rebuilding year.
Their offense is supposed to be terrible.
Yeah. This was the year we looked at their receivers like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like they can't catch anything, they can't do this, they can't do that.
Their number one guy is Valdez Scantling. Oh.
Yeah. Like they can't do anything. Like and Travis Kelce, all joking aside about Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce's had to do more on the field because he is by far their biggest receiving threat.
Mhm.
But they're young receivers, learned Andy Reid's system, and they're finally coming around. And I think Kansas City's going to do it.
Official prediction for me, 31-14 Kansas City. I think they're going to dominate. I think the first half will be close, probably maybe even tied at halftime, whatever it was, and Kansas City's just going to blow them out of the water. I think Travis Kelce wins Super Bowl MVP. He's going to have like an 11-catch, 169-yard, 2-touchdown game or something like that. And Mahomes will have good numbers, but I think he's going to throw a turnover or two where it's like, Kelsey's going to have a good enough game where like, okay, he made the difference. It writes itself. Him and Taylor Swift on the field, hugging, kissing, whatever. He asked her to marry him after he wins the
riding
Super
off
Bowl.
on a white Randy Moss's horse into the sunset.
Yes, Pete.
Yes.
Yes, boy.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And you got a pick? I
Well,
think that's the pick.
my pick is I think the Chiefs are going to win. I'm rooting for Brock Purdy. I still like the Mr. Irrelevant storyline there with the.
He's Tom Brady.
I mean he's.
If you think about it.
So I'm hoping it's the Niners, but the way Patrick Mahomes just falls over backwards and he's kind of like Lamar Jackson.
It's amazing.
Like all of a sudden.
Except he wins big games.
Yeah, except he wins big games.
Sorry, Lamar.
But I can see Kelsey being MVP, and I think it's going to be a closer game than that. I think the Chiefs are going to pull away, but then the 49ers are going to make a run to come back. But I think something's going to happen that the Chiefs just seal it. Maybe with a
Pete's big brain it right now.
Yeah, I'm big brain.
Hold on, he's cooking.
I'm tired, so it's my mind's just going.
Remember this: 4 years ago, the Niners were up 20-10 in the fourth quarter, and could not close it out.
That was Mahomes' first Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Bowl 54.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Strady's not back. It's Usher. Who can do a halftime show? Kevin Arnold. Just for
What did Kevin say?
He said, we'll see if he can do a halftime show. We'll see if he can carry it. Dude, it's Usher. We're going to be fine. I'm not saying he's the biggest one of all time, but we're going to be fine, buddy. I love your show. I love your show. Love your show.
If Usher takes his shirt off.
Are you going to get excited?
And with that,
there's a clip.
We got to go before our side hustle becomes the main hustle.
Here's the Usher shirtless and Double A enjoying it.
Bye-bye.